I like it.
Cut, take.
Welcome to Hashtag Set Life.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome. This is Hashtag Set Life, the show where Joe and I talk about our time on set with our friends and the industry. And we just open up the conversation on our experiences and share what we've learned. And sometimes we talk about specific angles on set, specific jobs. And today we have with us our co-star from the series The Agency, which is now available on Tubi.
Live on Tubi.
And we're going to talk about our experience on that set. So before we get started, I want to welcome Frankie. Frankie J. Turner is joining us today. How are you, my friend?
Good, man. Thanks for having me, dudes.
Just so glad to have you.
Yeah,
it's been so
a
much
minute.
fun. Yeah.
Thank you for staying extra and giving us this chat. So before we dive into our experience on the agency set, why don't you just tell our listeners a little bit about yourself and your experience in entertainment?
Bald, handsome, bearded.
All true.
What else is there to say? God, where do I even start? So I'm a professional musician, songwriter.
Yep.
I started, as a kid. When I was in my late teens and 20s, I was really good at getting record deals and really bad at keeping record deals. And then in my 30s, I ended up, but I stuck with it. Became a dueling piano player at around 30. So it's like a kind of improvised music show with a lot of comedy. I've been doing that for a long time. And 2014, I got a writing deal in New York, songwriting deal. And I've been working with that ever since. So I haven't done as much in front of the screen or in front of the camera as I have placing lots of music in TV, movies.
But music is an essential part of entertainment. And I think that's why it's important and, why you are representative on this show, because this business of entertainment, and that includes books, comics, movies, music, I'm gonna forget some
Film
things,
is a collaboration of all of these things.
So
It all feeds each other.
Yeah.
And we say all the time how important sound design is.
So I was in my 20s. After losing one of those record deals, I was like, screw music, I'm done. That was my chance. And after a couple months of doing nothing creative, I was losing my mind. So I ended up starting to do improv comedy. Which
you are amazing at,
He really
by the
is.
way.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, I genuinely enjoy watching your improv.
So many seasoned actors on the agency.
I just want you to
almost
know,
none of them could keep up with my improv.
I just want you to know
thank you, man.
that I had more reaction shots of you in the first and second episode.
I know. It's like my whole thing.
But
then he was even in the episode.
They were trimmed out because the way that we, and we'll get talking about the show, but real quick because it relates. The way that we cut the show was we made ourselves an editor's cut at whatever length it would be based on what we put together. And then we had all decided that we wanted the show to be within 22, 23 minutes. So we had to make hard cuts. Yeah,
good choice.
And so it would, what we call sacrificed a lot of babies, and your face was on quite a few of those.
Especially episode 1.
Because during the auditions, I had a whole thing going with you because I saw it all.
I was so scared that first day. And you and Peter actually were the ones who, I know, like you kind of gave me the thumbs up at one point because it was like the first day.
Yeah.
And I never filmed in front of a full crew before. So that's, I'll take it back just a little bit. So
Yeah, I didn't mean to derail.
No. So like 2014, I got this music publishing deal. I moved to New York for a couple of years and got zero work like the whole time I was in New York. Ended up moving back to Detroit, but kept the deal and then slowly kind of started figuring it out. But as I was like not getting any work, I was kind of desperate to like, well, I kind of have this New York opportunity right now. I'm going to literally throw anything I can think of at the wall to see what sticks.
Yeah.
And I ended up making this web series. So I did 24 episodes of a web series called Gigs. And after the second season of it...
is that still available to watch?
It was on YouTube. It's not available now. It will be available again soon.
Okay.
Yeah, so... after the second series, some production companies in New York started getting involved to take it to television, and they were like, it's kind of like, and it was like it was a one joke premise show about how annoying musicians are.
Okay,
just like any other group of people, if you're around them, like you see all the stupid shit.
Yeah, it's like I follow Cheapo Media, and they animate now, and it's all set stuff, and it just gives me a giggle every day.
And some of it was pointed at myself.
Lampoon yourself is so great.
Yeah, it was a lot pointed at myself. So these production companies started getting involved to pitch us to television, and COVID kind of derailed that.
Right, of course.
But before COVID derailed that, they had suggested, it's kind of like a one joke premise. You need to develop a bigger story. So I added like my character having a daughter, and the person that we found for that was Caden Bryce. So who plays Riley?
Former guest on our show.
Yeah.
And Riley in the agency.
Yeah. And over doing that with her, I became friends with Melinda and Jason.
Yeah.
And
great people.
Yeah. So when this came up, fantastic people. And what a family. So when this came up, so Melinda, Melinda has the unfortunate role in my life as my really great friend who's a great writer. So anything I even think of, I call Melinda.
No, you say it's
what about this? Like,
she loves that. Like that is
she's
her
great.
bread and butter. She just loves taking calls and helping people.
Yes, she's
part of developing stories. She's just a great a tool to have on your belt as a storyteller. So.
Yeah, she's the best. So when this agency thing came up, she called me on that, and I think these are the two things I said to her were, because I think she asked me what I'd be interested in playing, because she'd seen me do a lot of stuff by that point. And I said in the web series, I was always like the straight guy reacting to the idiots around me. So I would love to be one of the idiots.
Right. Okay.
And,
fair enough.
Yeah. And then I think I told her don't make any of my lines too long because I can't memorize for shit. So,
man, she threw you a bone in the
she
agency.
really helped me.
Yeah. She really gave you exactly what you asked for.
Yeah, she really did. But I do remember, like, especially the first day, I think I had 3 lines and just sweating. And I'd watch these people do like monologues and, and nail them, and then I'd walk in and make a couple faces and be sweating about my line.
No, honestly, you were one of the most refreshing people to riff off of. Like,
we had fun.
The improv, like you have that, like that's a God-given talent, sir, and that was a lot of fun to stretch those muscles with you.
That was fun. I remember. I think it was that day one shoot again. But it's a scene where our characters aren't on screen, but we're talking about a collection that your character has.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Go-Go Crazy Bones. Yeah.
Yes. And
we're on screen for maybe a third of it, but it's mostly the figurines. Yeah.
But I remember walking into that shot. So on the web series I did, it was all one camera shooting. Like we didn't have a full crew.
Right.
So this was the first time I saw a full set, full crew, and was trying not to be intimidated. But I do remember right before we did that, is there a certain name for that kind of shot where the actors aren't on screen, but they're I don't.
It's a voiceover. Yeah. So the shot.
Somebody said something, but it wasn't voiceover.
What were you saying? You were seeing like hands, and it's when you're talking about, and you're seeing the inserts of the Crazy Bones themselves.
shots.
Yeah, they're insert shots
Or pickup shots.
And your character is a voiceover.
I think they must have called them insert shots or something.
Yeah, it was.
But
But
they're
was
like-
performed live, but it's just it's within the
B-roll.
edit. But that specific
B-roll.
that specific type of shot is B-roll.
But I felt like a kid that like was about to take a test and didn't study for the. Cause they were they're like, we need you for an insert shot, and I'm in my head I was just like, what the fuck's an insert shot?
I didn't get to that chapter. I fell asleep on my desk.
Somebody's gonna have to tell me what I'm inserting and where.
Hey, that after the Me Too movement, that's the right approach. What am I inserting and where? You tell
that's
me.
an interesting. That's an interesting perspective, because I don't think I ever really gave that a lot of consideration, because I worked with so many of the people that were on set
Yeah, it was
before
very familiar.
that I didn't really take into account how many people's first time on camera it was, and so I can see how the whole thing can be overwhelming. I remember my first day on Tennille's production, If I Can't Have You. That was the first largest set that I'd been on. Everything else that I'd
And
worked
that was
on.
really the birth of the film family that became the agency.
Correct. It was that whole film project. So, but I was overwhelmed. I was brought on. The project had already started. I'd never worked on a set before. I'd worked on video productions because Joe and I had spent 4 years at that time doing music videos, learning 3-point lighting, like we were doing, but like out of the back of a Taurus, or an Impala, not with the trailer that we're working out of now.
And at some point in that, my career kind of took off, and I was able at this project to bring Brad on because I was like, I need help and I need this guy.
And they're like, you're going to be a
And
grip. I was like,
you
sure I
need to
am.
meet him.
I didn't fucking know what it was.
More
gonna be.
so than anything, I was like, Tennille, you need to meet this dude.
Yeah,
Like, he needs to be
yeah.
part of this family, and he fit right in. So
Yeah. So I get it, and I apologize if in some way I negatively affected that, but
he was saying
I don't
that
believe
you
so.
and Peter made him feel more comfortable.
good.
You did.
Because
Yeah,
you
dude.
treated him like he belonged.
dude, you were fucking funny. Like, I love that every take you were able to present something different, or one of the things like that, the
bringing
audition.
it back full circle. Yeah.
So the audition sequence that we were referencing earlier, the setup, it's in the first episode, and the setup is that they're an agency trying to cast for a commercial, and the requirement is young blonde,
Young blonde, yeah.
beautiful girl. And Frankie is a not blonde but bald bearded handsome gentleman of not young age. Like,
Very peppered. Yeah.
yeah, we're all established gentlemen here. Distinguished. Thank you.
Yeah.
Maybe your flame's extinct.
No, we are. Listen, we're handsomely peppered because the silver shines. Okay.
Yeah, baby. So
But, The point being, like, he's not appropriate for the role, right? And so you don't have any lines, but
still his presence is so
oftentimes
hilarious.
people, especially knowing that this is your first time on screen, not the first time. It's interesting that you've improv before, and that's part of your background, so that shines through. But a lot of people who aren't given a specific task in an extra type, because in that situation you were background, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you embraced, you focused on what was going on, and you lived your character, and so your natural expressions throughout the entire sequence was just like, I was locked into you right then. And then once you and Joseph had your little scene, and every time your take was a little bit different, he's like, what are you doing? You're like, you had a different story for why you were there. Like,
It was so great.
I want to be a ninja fighter, and
It was so refreshing to me to be able to just like actually bounce off of you because you weren't being rigid with it.
Yeah, there's a plenty of
And I
outtakes
loved working with every actor on that show. But
Me too.
There were some that were not allowing me to stretch that muscle as much, to go off script as much, where they were much more rigid and to what was on the paper. And I'm like, did you not know what kind of show this is? Like,
Right. So the premise of the show, the way that we approached it was
it's supposed to be very loose.
It was,
and when you're married to the script on an improv show, it throws me off.
So
at least.
it wasn't so much that we worked off a scriptment. We worked off a script. A scriptment would just be an outline, and oftentimes improv shows work off of that. Spinal Tap works off of that. Basically.
Sure. And we were a little more structured.
But we had assigned dialogue. Each scene was about a page, and then and the estimate for that is about a minute.
But to me, those are just beats you hit.
Understood.
You still live outside of that.
I'm just explaining the strategy, what they're watching. And so we were free to improv, right? So there was an outline, there was a script, but some characters, some actors brought more out of the script, and others stuck to the script.
Yeah,
is what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying.
But the idea of the show was that we were living in a kind of a free form, and we did only a couple takes. We shot an episode a day, and then alternated weekends and things.
Yeah.
So it was
and it was really just such a fun time. But yeah, what I'm trying to express to Frankie is that he was refreshing.
Yeah.
As an improvisist, he really embraced the whimsicalness of let's try this.
Yeah.
And just even if you liked what you did, you still tried something new because we got that. Let's do, and I felt less of that wing flapping from some of the other people.
And I'm sure as you would not have, like, for instance, like, Daniel, who played, what was
Parker.
I would see him writing, like, between his takes. I would see him adding, like, furiously, like, writing jokes.
Yeah.
Which, like, I didn't do. Like, I would get rough ideas and then, like, kind of, or I wait for someone to play. So I just think everybody
has a different technique.
I was going to say, I think the thing about the agency, which, like, I think makes it really interesting, and also it blows my mind that it came together, is that it was running off scripted, and people were allowed to go off script, and we were doing it quickly. So there wasn't a shit ton of takes.
Yeah, like you're seeing him feverishly write down joke ideas where that's not communicated to anybody, not the director, not the showrunner, nobody, because it's so fast. He's doing that, and the time it takes to say cut, reset, roll,
but like I couldn't have done his like, it's not in my skill set to do, like, the speech that he does at the end in the last episode, which is beautifully written and delivered. But
yes, it was.
So I think that's the really weird thing about the show.
It was
working on the show.
It was balanced very well, but it was like I vibed with you very much in the improv aspect.
Yeah, me too.
But when it came to the scripted aspect, I vibed with other people a little better. And I mean, for me personally, I will always thrive more in the improv because I immerse myself into the character, and the script is more of a construct for me. Yeah. And I've always been that way. But I understand that that's not true for every actor. I just really relished the vibe that we shared.
We were giggling. We were giggling right away, which was a good sign. That was a good sign. But no, like, the fact that it all, I mean, when I first heard what the mode of operation was, I was like, this is nuts. And there's no way it's getting done.
It was the funnest modus operandi I've ever been a part of.
And then
I felt like a kid on the playground with my best friends just doing what I loved.
And then the fact that literally nobody was an asshole that I met. Every single day. Like, everybody was super cool, and it was nice to see what human beings can do when they all rally together. It felt really familiar the whole time. I didn't feel, like, sometimes when you're doing long projects like that, like, some bad guy starts forming.
It's always like one little
form. But there was none of that.
Especially like 2 days out of the week, and like you say, it's extended because now we're going instead of 15 days straight or 5-day increments for 4 weeks.
It was weekends, and
it's over 3 months.
It was a tight ship. Like, you keep your crew happy when it's delivered as promised. Like they stuck with a time and a goal.
One thing I've always loved about Tennille as a producer is how goal oriented she is and how prepared she comes to the table
100%.
with. Yeah.
100%.
She's an amazing actress as well, but as a producer, she's
what was your we'll all answer your favorite scene to work on?
I'm gonna say my favorite. Honestly, my favorite is probably episode 2 with the toilet thing.
Yeah,
but I think that was a couple different things. I think that was. I had a day of shooting underneath my belt, so I wasn't freaking out.
And those 2 days were back to back. Yeah. So because there came a point where were we still doing 2 days?
Yeah, we did.
We did. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Saturday, Sunday. Yeah.
And honestly, too, I'm not like that was the first day, and then I remember Matt Santia, who was a directed or
he was one of the writers, and I think he co-directed a couple episodes. Yeah,
that was the first day I met him, and he gave me a note on that first day, almost like a silent note. Like he just went, Frankie, try try this, and he did something, and it just clicked, and I was like, so all of a sudden I felt 100% comfortable.
Oh,
and
nice.
then
I do love the way Matt communicates with his actors because it's so interpersonal. He connects to you.
Yeah, and Emery was great. Emery was great the entire time.
Yeah, Emery directed most of them.
Yeah, and on that specific day, Matt had something to say. And then, honestly, it was the first day I had met Mandy when we did the rehearsal, but to see her just how can you be in a scene with her and not?
Dude,
just let go and give it your all.
Right. The camera's
you're gonna get left behind. You're gonna get left behind.
Yeah, she brings her all.
100%. Which is what made the energy in that entire scene, because all four of you,
we all had this different energy going, and it clashed, but it brought it they all levitated each other while battling each other. It was so much fun, that scene.
So the post sequence to that where she's in the booth by herself,
the Barbie,
she rambled. That was like a 3-minute take that I chopped up.
Funny.
And I mean, some of it was gold, some of it was you know how it is, right? But all collectively, I was dying. I wish I could put the whole thing.
That's an episode.
It was
that bathroom and her interview is an episode. There's 20 minutes of gold there.
But I think that's the other thing. It's shocking to me that the way it came together well is that because it's a big cast. Yeah. Everybody has their moments. And everybody shines in some ways. Even day players that came in really shine in their moments. And that's pretty rare.
Dale Dobson,
100%.
Christy King, you know. Just amazing talent in Detroit coming together. So for my favorite scene.
I was going to say, so Joe.
My favorite scene, which is the toilet, is a close second. But it has to be, because it was completely my idea, it's still a close second for these two, because I was only supposed to be in 3 episodes. I was a very bit part, but being on set as the gaffer, I was involved in the jokes and just bending Melinda's. It wouldn't be funny if this, wouldn't be funny if that, and not just for my character, for other characters too.
Sure,
this, maybe ask them to do this if you agree with it, and she would do it, and so that was a lot of fun. Really, being that close with Matt and her as the showrunners next. But for me, I think it was episode 6, the audition episode.
Okay.
Because I was not supposed to be there at all. And I was because we finished early with how many people we had.
It was a big day.
It's a huge day, and it's so exhausting, but we still we're ready to we're done with people. Yeah. And what else can we do? And I was like, well, what if, because the plumbing is broken, what if Otis came to tell you it's fixed?
Yeah.
But because he's kind of simple. He just like waited in line.
Yeah.
And so Billy goes at the DMV. Like that for me, because that was like pure, like my version of comedy, because it was all irony.
Oh,
Yeah.
And irony is the funniest fucking thing to me.
Yeah.
And people
love
miss
that
it. Irony goes over people's heads so much. So I wanted to like double dip the irony in that scene, and I got to do it. So
I love that we have that, because that's how the show opens, and we wouldn't have ever readdressed that had that
exactly.
So
like that flashback, like, and that's something
that really helps.
It's something that
close
I
the story of that episode.
I love it. I was like, oh, let me bring back the plumbing thing.
Yeah.
And and Melinda was like, oh, just go. She didn't even have any questions. She was like, do it. And I was like, because like every other idea, she was like, well, what would the joke be? And I'd have to like think up something, which is never going to be what I say in front of the camera.
Right.
But this one, like, I felt like she was just like, I don't even need to hear it. Do it.
Yeah.
Like it was so like in episode 4, the drag queen bingo one, like I was like, well, I need to like always have supported Parker, and like I run into Riley, and that's when the appetizers.
Your bit in that episode is so funny.
We're all like hiding in the bushes.
No, when Riley first discovers you, because you're just casually walking through the gay bar.
that was all me.
That's hilarious.
They did not write that. I was just so there lighting it, and I was like, shouldn't I like? I know he's a drag queen, right? Like,
yeah, right.
I'm the only one who does know. And she was like, go with that. And I was like, I just need to walk by Riley in the bathrooms. And they were like, okay. And it took us 30 seconds.
Yeah.
They did the little thing.
That bit is so worth it.
They did the little thing with Katie Combs' character where she's like, oh, she's my friend. And Riley's like, no, she's not. And then we just turned the camera 4 inches and did that, and that was it. And then from that, Tennille was like, well, if you're here, then we can hang out and have drinks afterward. And that's where the whole ending of that episode came from. Was just me suggesting to be there, because now when the show's over, everybody leaves, and now they start getting drunk, right? And I was like, well, how does the character that hit on you and you being carried out by your intern really make sense if you haven't gotten truly shit-faced?
Right.
And she does a good job, Tennille, as describing, like seeing her, as she calls Sam, getting more and more intoxicated. Totally. But that little bit of like still frames and the dance music of us like after partying, right, and then like her falling in the bushes really sells the she does not get that this woman's pissed you're going home with a younger woman, right? So it really, that's what I loved about this, is that not only was it loosely scripted and improv based, but like if you were there and you saw something and you brought it up and that works, it's in there. Like you really, like as a character actor, you really had the opportunity to go to the showrunner and stretch your legs.
Yeah, I like the risk.
I think I was probably the only one who took advantage of it as much as to like triple my involvement in the series. But look, guys, next season when we do it, push that shit, because if it's funny, they'll let it in.
No, they were all very open on Tennille, Melinda, Emery were all very open. Yeah. It felt very collaborative.
There was a very open communication on set.
And so organic. You know, there was nothing forced. There was genuine familia. Like, as you said, we felt like, and it's because we've been working together for a long time, but we all just really believed in that project. Like there was not a moment where anybody was like, well, how dare you for that? We were like,
Well, when you see someone, when you show up to do like some kind of creative thing, and like, I'm sure we've all been people that have been the lead on a creative project before, right. Which I've spent a lot of time doing that. So like, when I show up and it's not my show,
you're there.
All I want to do is support the person whose show it is, because I've been in that place where all the pressure's on you.
Right, and you want to alleviate that for them.
Yeah, so I think there was very much a spirit of that with finishing the days and people being pumped up and ready to do their stuff. I just think it was like when I got there day one and I saw how much work had gone into just making the schedule for the day.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
When I saw just that, I was like, all right, so, like somebody has put in a ton of time here.
There are 20 people focused on the singularity of an idea. And when you see someone struggling, if there's something you can do to alleviate that, you do. And that just, everybody kind of rises together in that moment.
Yeah. Yeah. So my favorite scene to work on was also from episode 6.
The audition episode.
The audition episode. And so the premise of the episode, and I don't want to spoil it because obviously not everyone's watched it. So we'll leave it to the imagination. But the premise is the talent agency is trying to cast for a feature film. And the interns are playing a game throughout the day where they want to see if they can get auditioners to do certain things, kind of trick them into doing something or just coaxing them
to earn points.
To earn points, and whomever of the interns scores the most points wins the prize. And I'll just leave that out there. But
I don't even think there was really a prize. It was just for the sake of making it less boring. The prize was when Kane's character came in and they bet $100.
Right.
The girls were just doing it to make the day less boring.
Right.
Well, really, it was Riley's character because the other two were high off her peanut butter.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry, no spoilers.
Yeah, I was like, watch the show. What the fuck, Joe? I'm trying not to. So
you need like a radio dump button.
Yeah. So
if there's any spoilers.
So that's the A story. The B story is the auditions. And my character, producer Pat, is mostly an off-screen character. And my character is kind of like a showrunner for this reality series that's being observed.
Yeah, the only time we even notice you're there is if somebody goes silent and you're like asking a question or trying to point them in a direction.
Right.
Every now and then you're in.
So originally I wasn't scheduled to be an auditioner, but I had asked Melinda or Matt, I think it was Matt, I said, wouldn't it be funny if the guy behind the camera, and it was for a horror movie, and most of the roles it's for teens, right? And I was like, what if I'm just like wanting my shot? Yeah, wanting my shot.
Yeah.
And then
we play the quarterback.
And then
at 43.
So then I take it, and none of the on-screen cast knew that I was going to be coming on. So it was a surprise to Tennille. It was a surprise to Daniel. And so then I went full-fledged, but Matt had asked me as part of the game, this is why I brought it up, to whisper my audition. So it doesn't make it into the show, but I do a full scene where and I did theater. Come on, I did theater, please. So I projected my whisper. But in a
whisper, yeah.
Right. But they were like, and we played it, right? And it was too long to make the edit. But the point being, it led to what ends up in the show. And that, so without spoiling,
but your audition does start off with you low spoken, and he goes, and if you could speak up. So the whole gag doesn't play, but
I'm saying the take was really long. My whole audition was 5 minutes.
Yeah, no, but what you feel is left out still plays as the open to your scene, and then what you did afterward. Oh my God, you got to see it.
And that's also my favorite episode because
he was asking for it.
The favorite episode that I got to work on as an editor, because there was so much content, because the baseline script was, you can tell the scripted sequences, everything that's audition or interview was all made up on the spot with just the people the slew of people that spent an afternoon with us. And there was so much funny stuff that unfortunately didn't make the cut, and some of the stuff that it was hard to really assemble, but it was a lot of fun.
It was a shitty space to light, especially with a green screen.
Yeah,
because green bounces forever.
Yeah,
it was also 90.
It was 90 as fuck, and there was not room for everybody. But we had, I don't even know, at least 200 people came through.
Dude, it was so hot.
I don't remember how many we actually auditioned. They tried to audition everybody.
They only had air units.
I could be inflating that number.
Those off when we're rolling.
Even if I'm inflating that number, it felt like that. Like it was all day of people.
It was, yeah. The hallway was jam packed. Yeah, so much fun. But whoa,
yeah.
like
that
wore me the fuck out.
It was. I remember that being kind of the most trying day for me. It was shooting,
for sure.
Oh, probably.
But it's my favorite episode, and I just think the mix of real people auditioning.
Yeah,
woven into the script.
What if
was
we
just
cut
like,
your hair off and glue it? No.
Or that woman. I think maybe like a month ago, I called Melinda just to ask if it was script. Do you guys remember the? Oh, you would because you edited it.
Yeah.
But the woman who wore the wrong shoes that day.
So Dorianne.
Oh,
that's not scripted.
It's God.
That's all her.
It's a bit.
It's a bit she
so
does.
So incredible.
Yeah. Yes.
She did not break character all day.
So in the original edit, I had to cut her down quite a bit.
No, because she was so funny. He's like, what of this do I keep? Like,
my original edit for that episode was an hour long.
It should have been, dude. Like that one would have been worth it to go over.
Very special episode,
or at least to 40. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and like do the continuing.
But I mean, it wasn't a good hour. Like it needed some trimming. But that was just it was the approach.
We could have made it 40 minutes and entertaining. Bro.
Oh yeah. But
like,
I'm just saying, like, the amount of fun that was there because you had to shorten some of the bits. Some of the bits had to be just moments.
Many characters that showed up as character actors.
Yes,
not just Dorianne. Uncle Yodi.
Oh yeah, Uncle Yodi.
Dude, that scene with him in the last episode.
Mr. Polk. Yeah, dude, he's so good.
I had no choice.
I had no choice. 8 with you and him. I go with tomorrow. I go with today.
We literally sat outside and put that song together in 5 minutes, and then when we got in the scene, he did nothing scripted.
I fucking love that guy. Oh my God.
Literally
Joseph Polk
just the craziest stuff.
And that got me.
I just
oh my God. So he went out there and helped you write a song in 5 minutes and then improv'd over the plan.
The song was still as it was, but he improv'd over the lines. So I had no choice but to just keep reacting to him. But it made
he helped you write the song better. And the lyrics that you sang, and his part was
I just sang my part. I wrote my part in the thing, and then he put that.
So it wasn't you two together. He had no idea what you were going to play, and it was just this.
And I had no idea.
Oh, that's amazing!
I played him the music. And then he started doing because he's this guy like he raps, he does everything.
Yeah, he's Jamie Foxx. He's a full threat.
Yeah, so
he's a quadruple threat. This guy
on his tour. So I worked with him on another day, and
he's a comedian.
When he tours,
every time I look on social media, he's in another movie.
He tours as a rapper and a comedian, like literally at the same venues. Like he'll go on as one and then
come out as another.
And it's
he's on his way to being the Black Billy Crystal. You know how Billy Crystal did the one man shows where he was 40 people.
No, Steve Martin.
I'm talking Billy Crystal.
I love Billy Crystal.
Steve Martin did not do it to the extent of Billy Crystal.
No.
Okay. No, by mentioning them in the same name, you're doing Billy Crystal disservice.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I do just think, like I said, it was like for a first experience with a big cast and a big crew for me, and the first experience where I wasn't like in charge.
Right.
Was, like,
refreshing. Huh?
Yeah, but just to have everybody. Like everybody got up to the plate and swung the bat and hit the ball. You know? And it's for a lame sports metaphor, but
no, that's perfect.
But I think that's why
I loved being there every day. Like there was never tension. Everything.
No, I was upset any day I had to miss because we had doing Weekend Warrior stuff is hard on somebody who does freelance filmmaking for a living. Like 2 months at 2 days a week. I'm like, well, come the last couple of weekends, I've got a full gig that's a month long, and that's all I'm doing. Like,
no, I can't
take 3 days off of this for that. I just
I drove from Kentucky. I drove from Kentucky to make it to the last day. Because I remember there was like, this is the last episode, and I remember being like, Melinda saying, we can write you out if you can't make it. And I was like, I'll be there. That's
exactly. They were like, I was like, I can't make it. They're like, oh, well, we'll write you out. And and they had no idea how, right? But then 2 weeks after that, one of our sponsors, the Amsterdam dispensary, was like, hey, if you guys come out here and we can do some spots for that, and we added to episode 7.
Right.
So by doing that 2 weeks after wrapping the show, we not only added a reason to why my character wasn't in episode 8, but we recorded that reason. You know,
that's great.
And I had changed my whole look for another acting role, but it fit because
that's right.
We made the he's at Comic-Con, and I had referenced like, oh, this would be great for my Comic-Con character for my cosplay.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that's dope.
but it's amazing how things that aren't planned for can be, cemented.
That's the enjoyment for me was because it was something really completely different than I've worked on before, and it was a 100% positive experience.
So those of you who noticed that in the agency, that was actually filmed 2 weeks after episode 8, the last act in episode 7.
So thank you so much for coming on today.
Oh, dude, I've had a blast. It's just great hanging out with you guys again.
Frankie James Turner,
absolutely.
Man. Frankie J and the Igniters, or any other way we can listen. I love this guy, dude. He's a fucking rock star.
So let's go ahead and do your promotion again. What?
So right now, what have I have out? I'm in a funk project, like an early 80s sounding funk project, which has a bunch of different singers, and I sing a couple of those and write with those guys. That's called the Love Files. That's LUVFILES. Yep. I love it because it's got an early 80s Princey vibe, which I'm a huge Prince fan. What could be sexier than a bald middle-aged man singing Prince?
I just bought an original pressing of Prince Revelations down in Memphis. It was so good. It was like $5.
Man.
They said it was scratched. I buffed it out.
Nice.
All my friends are like, do you have any shirts that don't say Prince on them? I think somewhere.
If you do, they should say Frankie James.
Yeah, Frankie James.
Because you're that badass. You'd be like, well, if I'm not wearing Prince, I got to be as badass.
Yeah. I couldn't do it.
You can.
But what else? My
mohawk gives you.
Let him finish.
Yeah, the mohawk. I missed the hawk. That was a little. It's the only disappointing part about today was the hawk didn't walk in. And then I got I'm working on a project with. It's not my project, it's my friend's project, and that's called Hern. HERN. It's got like an old school rock kind of thing, and then. Nice. Yeah, and then I'm working on some. I'm going to try to get back, moving on creatively. So I've been like recording for like 30 years solid, recording music, and I love doing it. I did some music on the agency, all the little ditties.
Oh yeah,
I enjoy all of them. They're so much fun.
Thanks, man. But I'm looking to get more into the acting, more into the creating some stuff for myself to be in and stuff like that. And partially that is because the experience on the agency was so
positive.
And the reaction's been really positive.
Absolutely
really fun. So
it was such a fun show to work on. And if you haven't watched it, do yourself a favor. Seriously, I'm not scratching my own back here. Like, my family's hard to impress. And they're talking to me about it. I've been doing this for 15 years, and they don't talk to me about shit I do. They want to talk about the agency.
So, the agency is available on Tubi. Joe, how can people find you?
IMDb or Facebook and all that stuff as Joseph Sheldon Quick, or on the gram as @chaotic_artisan. But please, right here at, UFO studio.detroit at Gmail. We love what we do here on the podcast, and we would really like to hear more from you guys. If you like what you're hearing, tell us what we're doing wrong, tell us what we're doing right. Just get involved in the conversation, man.
Yeah, absolutely. You can visit our website at ufpodcast.podbean.com. That has links to all the different streaming services that we're available on. We're available on Facebook, Audible, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. So share with your friends. If you got people who are interested in making movies or they're just interested in what it's like to make movies, we hope to be the perfect show for them. So share, like, subscribe, and on Instagram, we are at ufostudio.detroit. So thank you, everybody, and we will see you next time.
Peace. Peace out. Hashtag set life. Bitches.